fuck's going on, you stupid, dense, crazy motherfucker? I'm kidding. Y'all know that. It's just me trying to be... Ugh, this is already a bad way to start the video. Ugh. Sorry, man. I've had a lot of whiskey, and I've been turned up all weekend. Look, it's a way to get past the, I can't even fucking talk right now. I'm probably not gonna stream episode 5 right now because I am no shaped. I'm in no shape to fucking talk right now. But I was gonna do a stat video for you for episode 4, Thicker Than Water. Because I had just gotten done with it, and I feel so bad about it because, bruh, I fucked up twice in the episode. Like, I fucking let a walker kill me twice. I didn't see the fucking notification. I was, like, acting like a fucking like a fucking spaz, and I was like, oh my god. It was embarrassing for the 2 people that were watching at the time. But, so, type L's in the chat. Well, that's also why actually, you know what? That's also why I have comments turned off. There's no L's in the chat. The L's only people can see the L's, but they can't comment about the L's. See? It's all a mind game. See, it's a game, but we're gonna play, but we're not gonna play by the rules. You know what I'm saying? So, can we just take a minute to take in the ambiance and the aesthetic, cues that happen in this menu screen. The birds sound so realistic. Like, a few times I thought they were outside my window. I was like, whoa, they're really realistic. But anyway, let's move on, if you will, to episode 4 stats, which I'll go over them with you because for this one, there were 2 choices that were different this time. Well, originally 3, but you went back and corrected one of them. So, I think I realized what you do, man. I think you kind of like, you boot up the game, and then you get, like, you know, all, like, you know, you get all in your Zen mode, you get relaxed, and then you don't, like, you kind of, like, tune out parts of the conversation, or you don't quite, you know, like, comprehend some of the dialogue that's being said. But that happens to me too. Like, I didn't even see the fucking notification, or I mean, not the notification, the fucking pop-up to kill a walker. Like, you know, remember when you were in the expanded area in New Richmond, and the walker grabbed you when you were getting the hammer or the wire cutters? Yeah, it was that one. Twice. It killed me. It killed me twice. It was so embarrassing, man. And it was like, bro, this never happens, man. I mean, I did go through, like, a long time ago. I went back and I played all the deaths that you can get. So I remember that one. I was like, oh, come on, really? But, you know, that's why I love Telltale. That's why I love these live streams. Anything can happen. But anyway, let's move on to episode 4. No. Keep going, keep back. Okay. So the first major choice that they wanted to present you was, did you promise that you would help Kate with the family if David left? That was during the flashback when they were playing baseball in the batting cages. And what you said at the end of the flashback, either that's your responsibility or yeah, or I'll help out, determines the stat. You, myself, and 91.4% of players promised you'd help Kate. And I think my reasons for doing that were different, but it led to the same thing. I was more concerned about the kids than, well, I guess Gabe at this point. But I would do it for the kids primarily, not for Kate. Not for her. In no way in how. No way, Jack. I was going to do it for her. But pretty much what this does is that the dialogue that happens after word changes. Like, if you say that's your responsibility, he storms off, and you have to go, like, catch up with him, and then the flashback ends. And then if you say, yeah, I'll help out, he walks off with you and promises to buy you a beer. So, not much to say on that one. I did treat him a little bit differently in the flashback, though. I intentionally missed every shot. I swung and missed, and ironically enough, his attitude changes towards you. Like, He says, "I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to keep it together. I'm not used to talking like this." He, I think, is a classic example of toxic masculinity, where you have to be a certain way, you have to think a certain way, you have to say certain things, and you have to be a bit of an asshole about it. At first I thought he was bipolar, but now I think he's just the classic example of toxic masculinity. And then if you drop the ego bullshit with him, it reveals a very, very, I don't know, identity issue guy, or a guy who's like, you know, has self-esteem issues or whatever. But I don't know. But that's if you decide to swing and miss every single shot, which I decided to do is because we'll see what happens. But in the end, we all promised the same thing. So moving on. Here was the first thing that you, well, at first you deviated from, but then you decided to, which thankfully you did it right before the checkpoint, because if you had waited after the checkpoint to restart that, you wouldn't have been able to go back. You would have had to restart the whole episode, because unlike all the other ones, this one doesn't have a rewind function. You have to restart the episode. So wise on you to restart it though. But originally you were, well, I wouldn't say minority, because there is a minority. You were the Clementine decide Lingard's fate, where you don't decide anything. You let the timer run out pretty much, and then Clementine decides what to do with Lingard, which based on how you played her previously would dictate what happens. But about damn near nobody let Clementine decide that. It was Javi who made the call. And most of players euthanized him, because not only did Lingard make a very strong case, he also promised to reveal where AJ was to Clem. And that was the incentive for it. So if you refused to kill Lingard, she wouldn't know where he was at. But now that she knows, hey, he's a few miles west of Richmond, McHale Ranch. So as soon as it gets clear, as soon as the walkers clear out, head west and look for a ranch. But you wouldn't know that if you refused to kill Lingard. At least not at that point. So it's like, watching this play out for you, bro, I was like, I'm glad I wasn't at the live stream, because I was like, bruh. I mean, I'm not sure where the confusion was, but that you see your brain's fried like 24/7, so I'm like, okay, whatever. If your brain's fried, your brain's fried. But I'm glad you went back and rectified it, because I mean, he was a doctor who got high on his own supply, and he gave up on a lot of things. But David was kind of like the anchor, so to speak, which kind of makes me believe that maybe they had a bit more of a intimate relationship, if you ask me. But I'm not sure about that. The way he was talking about him, which, you know, he was very, you know, I mean, he was very, you know, high at that point, which he was also being very honest. So I took what he said at face value. But sometimes, Devon, dead is better. Sometimes dead's better. Moving on. Yeah. Did you tell Kate that you had feelings for her? Myself and 22% of players did not share Kate's feelings, so I have a group. I got my little section of the pie chart, but you and 78% of the players told Kate that you had feelings for her. And I think it was just based on you being a 21-year-old and you being a horny kid, pretty much, because you trying to smash? Come on, bro. So you're telling me that if you... Because that was the question I want to ask you. Two questions. Number one, is your dad in the picture at all? Meaning that if your dad's around, is he around? Second question, are you an only child? Because my dad's around and I'm an only child. And I act more like a brother to David, I think, than you do. So I'm curious if you have a sibling. Well, I know. I think you have a sister, right? You have a sister. Do you have a brother? I don't think you have a brother. I think you have a sister. I think. I don't know. But yeah, that was just the questions I had for you. But, because, I mean, I don't know, man. I just, like, that's just gross, man. Like, that's your brother's wife. No matter how she felt about him, no matter how he felt about her, they were still married. They were still together. Just because they got separated physically doesn't mean they weren't still together. She may have fallen out of love with him at any point during the marriage. Like David said, she may have had a foot out the door for years. Which meaning that if she could have left at any time and she decided to stick around for some stupid ass reason. Who knows what the hell that was for. But it's like, you know, that's still like, ugh, it's just gross. I mean, that's just like, for me, it's like sleeping with your cousin almost, you know, or your third cousin or whatever. It's like very, very disgusting. And it's just like, I was grossed out by the entire aspect of it. So I was like, no, I do not feel that way about you at all. No, 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 no. And of course, she got all bitchy about it, but I was like, hey, I've done nothing to, like, you know, display affection towards you other than, you know, familiar bonds. You know, I saw her as, like, you know, part of the family, pretty much. She was, you know, my brother's wife. That's all I saw her as. But then somehow, no matter what you say or no matter what you do in the game, it still leads you, or leads her to believe that, oh, could it be something more than just, you know, familiar bonds or whatever? And I'm like, what is wrong with you? It's like, ugh. It's like, sure, I was just very, very sickening, very grossed out by that. It's like, no. No sloppy seconds from me. No thanks. But, so yeah, her dialogue is going to change towards you, and it'll probably change in episode 5, who knows. But, you trying to smash? Alright, fine. You can have fun with that STD-ridden pussy all you want. I'm gonna keep my dick clean, alright? Hell, still, Eleanor, I fucking hate that bitch's guts right now. I want her to die in the worst possible way right now, but if her and I can smooth things over, if she want to, you know, throw a little pull at me, you know, you know what I'm saying, maybe we'll be okay. I'll get over it. I mean, hell. We'll talk about that later, but it's like, we'll talk about all that later, but it's like, you know, her or anybody else. But not Kate. I'm not gonna fuck around with that just STD-ridden pussy. And you know she a whore, because the way she is, she's very provocative. She's very, very. She uses her body a lot, and she likes to manipulate. I don't trust her. I'll smoke with her. I mean, trust me. She's a smoke buddy, but it's like nothing else than that. But other than that, nah. Sorry, Kate. Sorry about that. Let's move on then, shall we? Oh yeah. Oh, there you go. This right here is another difference, and you can tell by the picture. Which, if you had your version up to date, or if you put this version, it would have showed the other version. But since I decided to tried to save Trip, he ended up dying at the execution. You see, you were in the majority. You tried to save Ava, but you didn't realize that. I mean, well, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Who knows? I'm not sure if you realized that or not, because I kind of fell off, and I kind of like skipped ahead a little bit after you kissed Kate. I was like, oh God. Like, I was like, I gagged, like, on that. I was like, oh my God, you did not. Like, did you really just do that twice? It's like, what's wrong with you? It's like, ugh. Ugh, God. Grossing that buyer. But, I guess that's you. That's you, and if you want to smash, go ahead. You want to have fun with that, gonorrhea infested, pussy wonderland, pussyland, go right ahead. But I don't want no part of it. No thank you. No way, Jack. When it came to the execution, you were thinking about, okay, you want Ava around. Okay, there you go. So, save Ava. Not knowing that, or not suspecting that she's going to trick you. Which, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I'll tell you right now, you'll have a chance to decide that in episode 5. Did you know about the double cross, or did you not know about the double cross? I kind of suspected it. I kind of suspected it. Sorry, I can't talk. So, and at this point, I was like, these are the two people you want me to pick from. If it was like Clementine and Kate, or if it was like someone else besides those two, I was like, really, these two? Trip just had a bad blow off at me. Like, he pretty much said "fuck you" to my face. And Ava, who is kind of a bitch, but she's been good to Clementine. And she's kind of like, I didn't know about her at first. So, yeah. You know what I just realized, bro? Your episode 5 is going to be very different. I cannot wait to watch it in a few hours. But yeah, at this point, bro, Trip is dead for me. Whereas in your version, you tried to save Ava, and you ended up killing her. My version is opposite. So, I'm actually going to take a screenshot of this, and I'm going to send this to you, because I think you should see this, because you should see my alternative perspective. But, yeah. If it was your version, it would have been Ava. Like the final scene, remember where she was like, where it panned to her face or panned to her dead body before Clint spoke up about, this is not how we do things. That was what it would have been. But, yeah, I was in the minority, which means, opposite, the majority of players, Trip is alive, and Ava is dead. Minority of players, Ava is alive, Trip is dead. So I'm in the minority, which I knew. I mean, I didn't know exactly what was going to happen, but I was thinking, wait, they're asking me to save somebody? Nah, this is The Walking Dead. They're going to probably kill whoever I pick. So I went with that logic, and I tried to save Trip. Killed them off. And I was kind of happy. I was like, oh, I was right. I was like, ooh. It was like, at that point, I think I was like, what, 21, 22? I was thinking like the developers at that point. I was like, whoa. I was on their level because I was able to play a certain way. So, but you were in the majority. You were in the majority. So right now, Trip is still alive for you, and Ava's dead. But for me, Ava's alive and Trip is dead, which I kind of prefer that way, but, well, after episode 5, I'll tell you what happens. Moving on. Yeah. Did you shoot Joan or take Clint's deal? Us and 56.6% of players chose to shoot Joan. Yeah. There was no way in hell she was going to live. That bitch deserved every bad thing that happened to her. Well, Not much else to say about that. I mean, she deserved to die. I mean, Clinton's deal was like flimsy as fuck. Yeah, you and I chose it right away. So here's what it was for me: majority, majority, minority, minority, majority. And then for you, majority, middle, which it was like you were like the middle part originally, because I'm still going with the fact that you refused to do it the first time. So, but it wasn't the minority, because the minority was you let Clementine decide Lingard's fate. So yours was, well, majority, 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 majority. You follow the herd all the time. I went against it twice. I remember seeing that the first time. I was like, really? All you people shared Kate's feelings? What's wrong with you people? Like, I found that very sickening. It's just, I found that very, very disturbing, and I just, like, didn't want to be a part of it. But, those are my stats. Let me think here. Let me go back to, the ones that you did differently. See, originally you were 46.3% of players. You refused to kill. You refused to kill Lingard. That was your originally. But you changed it. So I'll let it slide. But this was you, 78% of players. So a vast majority. I mean, I would say more than a quarter of players. Oh wait, that's 25%. I meant half. What's more than half but less than one? Fourth? No, a fourth is before that. Whatever. All right. Yeah, starting 8%. That was you, and then 58.6% of players tried to save Ava. So majority did try to save her, but I'm not sure if the majority. You see, this is the one stat that I'm not sure about. Did players know that they were going to shoot her, or they were going to shoot whoever you decided to save at first, or did they not know? There's too many variables on this one stat, on this one choice. So unfortunately, we don't have any like other definitive way of knowing did the 41.4% of players that decided to save Trip, did they know that in doing so would they get him killed, or did they really try to make amends because of what they did to him, or how they acted towards him, like earlier on? I don't know. I don't know how to play it, but that. It is what it is. It is what the fuck it is. So, and there's Joan's dead body one more time. Just take a screenshot of that. All right then. That concludes episode 4. A New Frontier Stats. Tune in tomorrow or the next day where I will do episode 5. Because I am not in the mood. I am in the mood, but I can't really stream right now and be funny at the moment. I gotta rest. Maybe get some snacks. Ooh, snacks. What you getting snacks? Alright, bro. I'll see you later. Peace.